What's up, Rockstars? Welcome to the channel. Sunday, December 8th, 2024. And I got a lot of requests from people asking me to talk about the ban on TikTok. We all know what TikTok is, app. You can scroll endlessly and destroy your brain for hours. However, for business, it is fantastic. I got to say, if you're not using it for business, whether you're a YouTuber trying to get more views or content, whether you're using TikTok just to make money, TikTok shop to sell your own private brand products, or TikTok affiliate, if you have an audience to link products to and make money, it is fantastic for business. However, TikTok is owned by a China corporation, and this has become a huge problem because people are worried, including our federal government, with Chinese companies having all of our data, which is a fair market fear, like people using our data for bad things. Nobody wants that, right? However, there's a few things that go along with this that I don't agree with, and a few things that I think are just fear-mongering and crazy. And there are a few things I agree with. So let's get down to the bare bones of it. On December 6th, that was Friday afternoon, the U.S. court, the district court, has upheld that as of January 19th, TikTok will be banned in the United States. Now, currently, there are a few state governments and states that have banned it from federal government employee devices. I believe there was one city or one state, somebody might be able to help me out with this, I should have looked it up before, that actually banned it from the entire city or the entire state. But mostly where we're seeing bans are on federal government employee devices. So you can't have the TikTok app on any of those devices. With that said, this ban coming January 19th would ban TikTok from all Americans, period. All 330 some odd million of us, or 340 million of us. So during Donald Trump's first presidential reign, during his first 4 years from 2016 to 2020, he actually was in support of banning the app. He wanted the company in China that owns it to sell the app. He didn't want the app to go away. He wanted it to be sold to an American company or an American group of investors so that they could control the information. And I'm going to get into why I think our information is safe or why it's not safe on the app in just a minute, but stick with me here. So Trump, part of him running in the 2016 election was with the notice that he would not ban TikTok necessarily. He just wanted to get it sold. And so fast forward to Joe Biden's administration, and they have been pushing hard to, again, have the app sold to an American company. Otherwise, they'll ban it if China hangs on to it. So I think there was kind of an agreement there between the Trump and Biden administrations that if the app was sold to an American corporation, there could be a deal worked out, right? Like we would be able to monitor how the information was used. Now, a lot of the argument that I have is, well, we give our information to everyone, the same information that TikTok collects, which is basically your name, your email. If you're like in a business account, you kind of got to have, you got to give them your address. And if you're getting paid from TikTok or Facebook, like you're doing Facebook ads or whatever, they're going to have your bank account or credit card information, right? So there's just no getting around that if you want to get paid. And so you give that same information to Facebook, Instagram, the Meta Corporation. You give it to X if you're getting paid on X or whatever. That's Elon Musk's company, which has always been American owned. Why is it any different what you give to TikTok? Well, because China maintains that information as opposed to an American company. Now, my argument to that is, yeah, I don't want my information being held by a Chinese company, but you guys and a lot of you that are going to fight this, I bet you've shopped on Temu or Shein, right? And some of you are going to come to my comments and go, I never shop on any of those. Fine, you're the minority. But there's a lot of people I saw that are like, I'm not giving my information to TikTok. Yo, you just ordered a $20 cell phone case off of Temu. Where do you think your information went? To China? Just saying, guys, like when you're going to have an argument about something, don't argue about it because mainstream media told you to be mad or scared about it. Be scared or mad about it over the facts, over the information that is factual. And the factual information is that you give TikTok the same information that you give a ton of other companies, be it Temu or Shein or Alibaba or AliExpress. If you've ever shopped on any of those places and given up your information or your credit card or debit card, but yet you're scared to give it up on TikTok, delete your internet, delete everything, stop, because you don't know what you're talking about. I get the same argument where people are like, I'm not supporting China and this, and I'm not going to give information, and I'm not doing this. You just posted that from an Android phone, a Samsung that's made, overseas in Korea. They're like, I'm only doing American made. I'm not doing iPhones. iPhones assembled in America, made in China, sent to America, and sold in America from Apple, right? It just, people are hypocrites, and it drives me nuts. If there is a legitimate reason to be scared of TikTok using our information, fine, be mad about it. But really, one, you're already giving up all that information. I had people arguing with me over the Corporate Transparency Act. I'm not giving the government my corporate information to abide by this. You gave it to eBay. You gave it to Amazon. You gave it to your state. You gave it to the IRS when you registered your business. What exactly are you worried about again? And this is the problem. Like, people are hypocrites, and they just do what the internet and what mainstream media tells them to do. Okay, so we're past that part, right? Now, am I actually worried, first of all, about giving the information, but what would China do with the information? So the basic information for TikTok is name, email. Sometimes I need a phone number, maybe to like do a confirmation code to log you in, or two-factor authentication. The address, business, bank information is for people making money on TikTok. If you're just scrolling TikTok, if you're just a casual user, they really don't take much more than that, right? Name, email, maybe your address, but not even. I don't think you have to put your address in, just name, number, and maybe a phone number. What are they going to do with that? Spam you? Spam your email? If that's the worst they can do, trust me, there's a ton of companies that do far worse than that here in America. What are you scared they're going to do with your information? If you're a TikTok affiliate and you gave them your bank account and your social and all this information to get paid, sure, there's a lot people can do with your social and can do with your bank account. Fair enough. But most of you are just casual users, and you're literally being scared because mainstream media told you to be scared. No, I don't want China taking my information and doing whatever they feel like with it. I don't want China having my information if I could prevent it, but that's the nature of the beast. I don't want eBay having my information or Amazon having my information, but do I want to sell on it? Do I want to get paid? Do I want to sell and ship items? Then I got to do what they got to, want me to do. It's their sandbox. Same with China. If I want to scroll TikTok, I got to give them my name and email address. It's not that much to ask. So again, I ask everybody, what are you so scared about? And that brings me full circle to why is the government trying to ban TikTok? The government is trying to ban TikTok because they're trying to do it as a political point of putting pressure on China. This government is, whether it be the Biden administration or the incoming Trump administration, frustrated that China gets a lot of money from Americans and does a lot of stuff. Chinese get to ship stuff for 50 cents in this country, and we pay $5. A lot of what China gets away with is not fair. And so that's where they're at with this putting pressure on China. And in the political eyes, to the majority of the sheep in this country, to the mass Americans who understand nothing, who are being scared of things because they're told to be scared of it, it's a great political fighting point. Because the government can go, well, you should be scared of China, big bad China, fair. We're going to take China down and ban TikTok. And so welcome to the world of politics. There may not actually be a reason to be scared of it, but if the government gives you a reason to be scared of it, and then the government comes in as the hero, all of a sudden you love whoever that government official is that's being your hero. Does this make sense, you guys? Wake up. Turn off mainstream media. Stop listening to all these bullshit people that are in charge of this country that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Let's read the story here from Bobby Allen over there at the NPR on December 6th. So with Trump coming in now, Trump is still trying to negotiate a sale of the app. He's sticking to his previous. He's actually, gone a little bit easier on them now. He says he wants TikTok to stick around. Before he said he didn't want it to stick around, but the sale would be, doable. Now he's saying he's all for the sale to keep it up. Federal appeals court on Friday upheld the law banning TikTok nationwide unless the viral video app was sold by its China-based parent company, rejecting TikTok's claim that a crackdown violates the free speech rights of millions of Americans. TikTok is arguing free speech. This isn't free speech, guys. A private app on an app company is not free speech. Government people posting on a government Facebook page informing us about the news of New York City is government free speech that if you comment on, they could, be in trouble. Being able to mindlessly scroll TikTok all day and post what you want is not free speech. Sorry, I agree with the courts here. In its ruling, the court said that it was precisely because of TikTok's expansive reach that both Congress and the president determined that diverting it from China's control is essential to protect our national security. So part of what I read is that TikTok or the government thinks that TikTok is collecting our information to get account of how many people, what people are doing every day, what they're posting, what they're reading, how much time. They're just trying to get statistics and data out of us, which is fair. Maybe they are. But I would imagine they're doing it to make money, not out of threat of national security. I don't think knowing that I watched 40 dog videos this morning is going to tell China how to invade the United States. Call me dumb. In its opinion, the courts wrote that TikTok's ownership by a China-based company, BitDance, represents a national security threat that surpasses the free speech concerns that TikTok raised. Again, this is a political ploy. They're not actually worried about national security with TikTok. Come on, guys. Let's wake up. Use your brain. First Amendment exists to protect free speech in the United States. Here, the government acted solely to protect that freedom from a foreign adversary nation and to limit that adversary's ability to gather data on people in the United States. Critics of banning TikTok, including the Knight First Amendment Institute at Columbia University, were alarmed by the court's decision. This is where it gets interesting. I'm going to cut this video after I'm done with this, so you don't have to watch too much more, but listen to this. It's very, very interesting. This is a deeply misguided ruling that reads important First Amendment precedents too narrowly and gives the government sweeping power to restrict Americans' access to information, ideas, and media from abroad, said Jamil Jaffer, the group's executive director. We hope that the appeals court's ruling won't be the last word. The TikTok spokesman said the company plans on appealing to the Supreme Court, which would be their next steps up in the chain of command. The TikTok ban was conceived and pushed through based upon inaccurate, flawed, and hypothetical information, resulting in outright censorship of the American people, the spokesman wrote. The TikTok ban, unless stopped, will silence the voices of over 170 million Americans. Read that again. It was conceived and pushed through based upon inaccurate, flawed, and hypothetical information. So the government hypothetically saying, well, if China knows how many dog videos you watched this morning, we would have a better idea when you're busy with dogs to invade. I'm being very facetious and exaggerating, but that's essentially what they're saying. And I agree. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to save TikTok, and what that means could be several different things. Under the law, TikTok has until January 19th to be sold off from its Beijing-based owner BitDance or face a nationwide ban. Of course, Donald Trump is scheduled to take office and be inaugurated on January 20th. How convenient. What do we got here? The deadline may be extended by 90 days if there is significant progress towards a sale. So one option could be that the enactment date is forestalled and Trump tries to broker a deal for the app to be acquired by an American company or group of investors. China has for years opposed the sale of TikTok. But China analysts say officials may now attempt to put the app on the auction block as leverage in trade talks with the incoming Trump administration. TikTok's current position, though, remains that it is not for sale. So essentially, because Donald Trump wants to install tariffs on China and make them pay their fair share to get stuff into this country, they may say, hey, don't go so hard on us with tariffs. And if you do that, and if you go easy on us, we'll go ahead and sell the TikTok. We'll force the sale of TikTok. And so they're trying to quid pro quo on, I can't talk, quid pro quo on the deal there. Trump can also declare that steps TikTok has taken to distance itself from BitDance, including a plan known as the Project Texas that walls off Americans' data from China, qualifies as divestiture. Trump may also instruct his attorney general to not enforce the law. Banning TikTok is not as simple as flipping an off switch. So let's say that the ban goes through and TikTok gets banned. So what happens? Are they going to confiscate our phones? No, of course not. The law targets app stores controlled by Apple and Google, forcing the tech giants to remove TikTok and making it illegal for web hosting companies to support TikTok. Google and Apple have not said how they would respond to the law, and it is unclear what exactly web hosting firms would do given Trump's stated goal of rescuing the app amid the looming legal deadline. But even if the law was being enforced by the presidential administration, TikTok would slowly wither on the line. Its 170 million American users, that's over half of America, would not see, or a little less than half, would not see the app disappear from devices. Instead, software updates would stop being fed to the app. Over time, TikTok would be slow, glitchy, and eventually unusable. Trump, during his first administration trying to put TikTok out of business, of course, reversed his position on the campaign trail. He also said if TikTok went out of business, Meta, Facebook, Instagram would grow and get bigger. And of course, he has an agenda with Meta and Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg for the 2020 election interference that they admitted to. I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on. Facebook came out and admitted to political interference during the 2020 election. That is a fact. We're not operating on feelings. Okay. I don't support either side. I hate both old people in offices. I'm simply working on facts. So don't go in my comments and say I came out as this or that. I didn't. I'm simply saying that factually happened. And that is why Trump wanted TikTok to stick around, because it gives competition to Facebook, who he hates. Although Mark Zuckerberg visited Donald Trump recently and they might be on the amends. I don't know about all that. So a drawn-out appeals process could come next. Either party can ask for a DC appeals court to re-examine the case. And from there, of course, like I mentioned, the Supreme Court will hear the case if asked to. Or if they decide to, they could decide on that. So that's our story about the TikTok ban. I know it's not reselling related necessarily, but a lot of resellers use it to network. They do TikTok shop, they do TikTok affiliates, they sell their own products directly to their audience, they do live shows. Pretty big news either way you look at it. I'm interested in what you guys think, and please don't twist this video in any way. I'm not putting my politics out there. I'm not telling you who or what I support or don't support, because honestly, when you can hate Donald Trump and you can say anything you want, but when he says drain the swamp, and I don't just mean Democrats or Republicans, I mean all of them, there's a lot of people in Washington, D.C. from both sides of the measure that need to just go away. We need a whole reset and refresh of American politics. That's what I think. So if you want to talk about and quote my politics, quote that. But I think TikTok should stay. I don't think that the fear that the mainstream media and the government has pushed is legitimate. I don't think that China is trying to invade the United States based on the amount of dog videos that we watch or the amount of marble racing. By the way, if you like marble racing or don't know what marble racing is, go to TikTok and type in marble racing, or go to Google and type in marble racing. You're welcome. I just don't see that fear being legitimate. And I don't think China having our data, our basic email and name inside of an app is something to be worried about. I think we have way bigger fish to fry. That's my opinion. I think it should stick around. If it's sold to a US company, I'll be all for it. Like, that's great. If it stays in China, I'm fine with that too. I've been using TikTok for several years. I've been using it for the last year and a half or 2 years consistently, almost daily. Back 2 years ago, I was using it on and off. So it's been no problem. It doesn't look like China's invading my backyard through the pond yet, and it doesn't look like TikTok has caused the collapse of the United States economy like some people said it would. I think it's fine, but that's just my opinion. As always, I'll leave it to you in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Should TikTok stick around? Should it be China-owned? Should it be US-owned? Should there be changes? Tell me how you feel about the TikTok app in the comment section. I'd love to know what my audience sees in this. So that's it for the video here today on Sunday. I have more videos coming because there's some amazing stories coming out later today and tomorrow. So don't miss them. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's really easy. It just takes 1 second down there, and like this one so more people can see it. Share the video around, and make sure you join the new Facebook group, my sister Facebook group. I have my main thrifter reseller world. We're over, I think, 140 some odd thousand members. So you can join that Facebook group. You can also join the secondary group called Amazing Deals 365. That is deals and coupons and codes from Walmart, Amazon, eBay, Target, you name it. We put deals up in there, and you can find some amazing, unique products and awesome sales and coupons to clip and code. And we are growing that group. So I'll link them both down below. Go check them out. And don't forget the rest of the links, including my 2025 reselling and trading bundle. Go full-time on eBay in 2025. Make full-time income, and I'll teach you how to do it all in one place. Grab that below as well. It's 50% off. Until the next video, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see everyone later.